I think the biggest thing that I've learned in this season of my life, I've come to realize the beautiful thing that everything is going to be alright. And I know it sounds cliche, but everything is really going to be alright. You see, Romans 8:28 says, all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and who are called according to his purpose. And I truly believe that. But the biggest thing that made me realize that that is true is because when you look at things and you really analyze things, and we go through things, and the Bible tells us to rejoice in our trials because it brings patient endurance. It builds character in us. So I started to realize that everything we go through in life is character development. And it's going to push us to have faith in God, especially when we go through it the right way. So I come to realize that everything we go through is either by God or it's allowed by God. If it's not from God's hand and Satan had a hand in it and he's attacking us, if it happened to us, God is allowing it. And if God is allowing it, it's going to work in his plan. It's all according to his plan because he is in control of everything. He knows. Before the devil thinks that he's doing something against us, but actually, if it is allowed by God, that means God is going to use it for his glory. And since all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord, who are called according to his purpose, it's all going to work out in the good for us. So whether it comes by God as a test or it passes through God's hand as a test, it's still from God regardless. If the devil tried it, God allowed it for a reason. And if it didn't happen to you, that means God protected it from you. Well, God protected you from it. There are thousands and millions of things that God protects us from that we don't think about, we don't know about, but we don't dwell on that because that's out of our plane of sight. But there are plenty of things that could have happened that didn't happen because God has his protective hand on us. But God also has his teaching hand on us at all times too, encouraging us and strengthening us and growing us because all he wants to do, this whole life is about building faith. Faith is one of the most important things to God besides love. Faith and love is two of the biggest things that God wants from us. He wants us to always depend on him. That's why God don't give us everything, the whole life we want at one time. Because once we get that, we stop depending on him. Now he gives us even in an abundant season, God still leaves some stuff out so that we will continue to trust and lean on him to achieve those things. Because God wants us to lean on him. Once we stop leaning on God, we ain't living right. And once we stop trusting in God, we're not living right. So the whole thing is God wants us to lean and depend and have faith on him. Because without faith, it's impossible to please God. So remember this through your trial and your tribulation. Just know that no matter what you're going through, no matter how it looks, no matter what you see, you walk by faith and not by sight. And you keep your eyes focused on God. Because he has his hand on you. And when the devil tries to put his hand on you, God has you in his protection. And he has it all for a plan that'll work in your favor. Remember that. It's all going to work for your good. It's all going to work for your good. That's the only outcome.